Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our today's webinar. My name is Bernard Robak and I'm Business Development Manager at ISI Emerging Markets, responsible for CEE region and for EMIS platform. Alongside with me is Dr. Anita Zarzycka from Lazarski University, and she's responsible for Faculty of Economics and Management. And also we have here Marta Witczak, who is the account manager at ASI, responsible for the CE region and for EMIS platform. And she's also responsible for our current clients regarding the academic world. So just a little housekeeping before we start. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the questions pool at the GoToWebinar, and we will be more than happy to answer them at the end of our webinar. Today's webinar is EMIS for universities. What's the goal of today's webinar is to bring you the practical knowledge on how to use EMIS in the university world, and actually to give you an insight on how to implement this platform at your university. Let me begin with just quick introduction. What is ISI Emerging Markets? ISI Emerging Markets is responsible for two databases. The first one is EMIS, which we'll be talking about today. And the second one is the CEAC database, which focuses on macroeconomic information and statistical data. So without further ado, let's go to the agenda of today. At first, what is EMIS? We'll give you the brief introduction to the platform. The second thing, how to use EMIS in the scientific work. The third one would be the case study of Lazarski University, how to successfully implement EMIS at a university. And the fourth thing would be the Q&A session where we answer your questions. So at first, let me begin. What is EMIS? EMIS is a data aggregator regarding the emerging markets, so the CE region. We aggregate data on companies, industries, and countries, and we build them up into three separate pillars. The data pillar, the company pillar, which focuses on the company profiles, the sector data, which focus on the industries and on the reports, the macroeconomic data, which focuses on the data on the country level, and we also aggregate into these three pillars the press releases and internet news that help us gain more insights on the company, industry, and country itself. Also, we use analytical tool to guide you through the platform, because as you may see, it's wide, and in order to move around, we have also analytical tools that we'll bring up later on this webinar. EMIS in numbers. We have over 700,000 companies in Poland, 3 million in Europe, and almost 10 million in globally. When it comes to the news, we have 5.2 million press releases from Europe and over 40 million from the world in the last 12 months. When it comes to reports, we provide 44,000 reports on Europe and 175,000 on the world in the last 12 months. When it comes to sources, we aggregate 2,000 sources in Europe. That means press releases, reports, and 6,000 worldwide. We also gather the information about the M&As, which we have 71,000 in the Europe itself and 161,000 globally. And what are the sources that we talk about? We go from globally to local sources. Either they are public and also the paid ones. So when you get the access to the platform, you also get access to the paid sources, such as Frost & Sullivan, Fitch Solutions, and Oxford Economics, for instance. We have the global public sectors, global public providers such as OECD, the World Bank, and also when it comes to companies such providers as Biznote, Kofus, and news. These are, for instance, Puls Biznesu, the Polish newspaper, and also CE Market Watch, which focuses on the CEE region. We publish over 50,000 articles daily and provide access to over 6,000 sources. So let me go briefly to the second point of our agenda, which is the practical use of EMIS. And let me hang on the stage to Marta, who will present you more in detail how does the platform look like.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar. Thank you, Bernard, for short introduction. Now I would like to present the most common use cases are used and reported at universities. So before we go to the content and to the platform itself, a few important things, important information for you once you start using EMIS on your university. Once you subscribe EMIS as a platform, you as a university will have an unlimited access for the platform. It means that there is no limit of the users. So platform can be used by unlimited number of users and remotely as well. So based on the platform, you may use the system not only in your library but also remotely outside of the university. The number of accesses, the number of users are unlimited, so you may access anytime you would like to do it. So there is no limitation when we are talking about the access. All the data you find in EMIS can be exported. All financial data, all the information I will demonstrate can be exported. And before we go to EMIS as a platform, I would like to give you some practical tips. On the right hand side, you may find interface language. So it means that you can have the first page of EMIS in the given language. And we implemented also very interesting feature like translation language. It means that in case of each and every news, you can translate the given news in the languages you may find in here. So not only in English or German, but also in the CE regional languages like Romanian or Slovak or Slovenian. So this is very important, very common used by the students or professors when you find very interesting report in Hungarian, and then you can translate into your local language. So this is very interesting feature. So this is the first page of EMIS. So as Bernard mentioned, split into 3 pillars: companies, industries, and countries. Usually, once we start our researches or analysis, we start with the given keywords. So we created very advanced search, which is very useful when you start your searches based only on the keyword, on the single keyword. So let's assume that you would like to find any information in EMIS connected with energy. Then EMIS will be able to present, to aggregate all data connected with the keyword energy. So you will be able to find not only the basic information about the companies connected with the keyword energy, but also a lot of news from different newspapers, from different sources, from local, international, and regional. So please be informed that we gathered a lot of international and global sources. And once you subscribe EMIS platform, then you will have an access to the full source. So not only to the news you in this moment, you find in this moment, but also to the whole whole source. So this is very important because you can find in here a lot of historical information, not the current ones. Reports. So once you subscribe EMIS platform for one country, like for Hungary, Poland, or Bulgaria, you will automatically have an access to the full reports. It means for the global and international and regional reports. Companies, sources, and other information like statistics and M&A deals, so merger and acquisition deals. So going to the first page, in here you are able to find the advanced search bar when you start your searches based on the keyword. Once you start your analysis based on the company, then you can copy or paste the name of the company in here. So I will demonstrate the Polish company, one of the biggest company in Poland. So I will start my searches, and EMIS is able to show you all the searches connected with the keyword. So I'm clicking on the first one from the list, and the system will redirect us automatically to the main page of the company profile. So on the left-hand side, you are able to find the corporate basic information, marketing information about the company. On the right-hand side, more detailed information about the financials. So you are able to see in the overview, in the summary, all the information gathered, aggregated in one place, original financial documents, reports, M&A deals, and similar companies. So automatically you are familiar with all the competitive companies in the same sector. So this is very, very important. News and reports. So in the overview sector, in the overview panel, this is the short summary of the company. The next of the tabs are details of the first overview. Just for your information, the first tab, financials. So we gathered from the local sources, of course, 5-year information, financial information about the companies, split into tables, so you can find all the data. You may see the data in the table form, or you can see the visualization of the data. And what is very important, you may use EMIS. You may quote EMIS as a source to your projects, bachelor thesis, or a master thesis. So all the data you find in EMIS, you can use in your everyday work on daily basis. So this is very, very important for professors, for students, that you can use all the data found in EMIS. By default, you can see 5 years. You can customize this view to your needs, so you can switch the standards, the currency, and all the data available in here can be exported into Excel. So you may find on the Excel as a raw data, and you can attach all the information to your work. Apart from financials, which are very important from the analysis point of view, you may find a lot of news and reports. So all the data gathered from the market are aggregated into EMIS. So in one place, you can find all financial information, news, reports, statistics, benchmark, similar companies, or other information connected with the company. So in here, you can see all news aggregated for the company, for Lotos, Polish company. So in here, you may find the Polish article. So this is the full version of the article, and absolutely we always aggregate the full version of the online materials. The same for reports. So we always aggregate the full version of the report. This is not a shortened version. Very often, once you would like to buy a report on the market, then you will additionally pay for the report, or subscribe the whole 1-year subscription. In our case, you can find all reports for free. This is the full version, full source available. So you may search for the historical data as well. So as I mentioned, on the left-hand side, a lot of functionalities and the translate functionality. So the article was translated into English, and of course you may change based on your preferences the translation language. Apart from that, full access to the source. So sources are always marked in blue. So you may find daily information from this source. You may use the search bar, or you can switch into the industries and looking for the articles based on the industry. So full access to the source. So absolutely, the news can be divided into financial or M&A news, whatever you would like to see. Reports are very interesting part of EMIS. So as I mentioned, full version of the report. And on the left-hand side, all reports connected with the company, so connected to Lotos. On the right-hand side, automatically industry reports, very interesting reports with a lot of forecast information, analysis, and the future condition of the sectors. As you may see in here, we published oil and gas report for 2023. So let me demonstrate the full report. You may absolutely use this report to your work, to your projects. You may always copy the URL and send to other users. So this is the 40-page report, and then you can absolutely copy and paste all the information and use to your work. So this is the full version of the report. You can see the full access to the source. Like in here, we have Santander company report, so we can go to the full source, and you may search for other interesting reports based on the keyword. So apart from the financials and analytics, reports and news are very important and very interesting part of EMIS. What is very interesting and very common used by the professors and students and our users are similar companies functionality. It means that you can create your own summary of the companies. So in here, you can see the companies from the given sector. But once we go to the details, the system will redirect us to the so-called company screener functionality. So it means that in this place, you can create your own summary of the companies. You can create the summary based on the sector, or you can apply other filters like total operating revenue or net profit. So you can create your own summary based on the operating revenue or other filters. So all the data can be exported, and of course, you may create this summary from different regions. Like in here, we can have the sector for Poland and for other country. So the system will automatically uploaded all the information from the two countries from the given sector. You may indicate the city or legal form, or if the company is listed or not listed. So very interesting functionality to create very fast your own summary with the given filters and requirements. Usually, once we start with the company, we continue our searches going to the industry. So we analyze the industry the company operates to. So on the left-hand side, you may find two classifications, EMIS and NAICS. NAICS as an international classification is more detailed. So as an example of oil and gas extraction, you may see the general overview of the sector. So reports, general statistics, latest news, and M&A deals. What is very interesting is absolutely the condition of the sector. So you can see the biggest players from the sector. So in here, you can see the market share. You can very fast analyze the situation of the market. If we have two or three biggest players or more smaller players. So very easy and very fast way to check the general situation, the general condition of the sector. What is very interesting is DuPont pyramid. So this section presents return on equity, very interesting part. So you may see it in the form of table or pyramid, depends on your preferences. So as Bernard mentioned, like not only you may find not only the pure information, but also a lot of analytical tools, which allows you to do your work faster, easier, and more effectively. Statistics present the most important statistics from the sector. As you may see in here, we present the data from different providers, because each and every provider has a different data scope. So like Oxford has a lot of forecasts. So in here you may see the forecast, so the future information. CIC, so this is our second database, which aggregates the macroeconomic and statistical data. So you may find the current information, the current statistics about the sector, and Enerdata as a third data provider presents historical data, what is very important as well, because from the historical data you may have a lot of assumptions, and you may have a lot of information from the historical data as well. So this is the part of EMIS when you can analyze very quickly the sector. What is interesting are M&A deals. So you may find the most important merger and acquisition deals, not only from the company point of view, but also from the sector point of view and from the country point of view. So you may see the interesting merger and acquisitions from the given country, sector, or company. And as a last pillar, I would like to present country. So in this place, you may find macroeconomical data about the country and the forecasts. So based on Polish data, I would like to demonstrate and present the macro data and statistics and forecasts. So we have 5-year forecasts. So you may in here find all the details. Okay. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm passing over to Anita. Our use case and university, we are cooperating for many years with a lot of successes. So over to you.
Okay, thank you, Marta. Can we see the presentation with my first slide? Okay, okay. Thank you for inviting me for this presentation. I hope you will find it useful, what I'm saying today. Next slide, please. Thank you. A few words about my university first. We are a private university with around 5,000 students. We've got 3 faculties. It's medicine, law and administration, plus economics and management. Economics and management is my faculty, and we've got here 4 programs: economics, management, finance, and international relations, with many different majors. And the next slide, please. In my presentation, I will concentrate on some practical aspects of implementing EMIS because I think you will find it more useful than some details. So it all starts with a training, which is obligatory for all first-year students. All first-year students, I mean all 4 programs, first-year students, and it takes place during microeconomy lecture, which is my lecture. It was easier to establish it this way at the beginning, and it stays just like this. And this training is open for all staff, for all students who are willing to participate. It is provided by EMIS, and Marta is doing the great job here, and I'm always grateful for Marta because it's amazing. After that, students are encouraged to participate in online trainings, which are also free. And also provided by EMIS. So this is how we start with first-year students. And next slide, please. At my faculty, which is Economics and Management, we are implementing EMIS on 4 different levels. First of all, on I could say single class level, students here are working on some exercise in the class, and the exercise starts and ends within the same class. So it is very simple and very short exercise. The second level is the course level. Here, EMIS is more like a basic source of data for all kind of students exercises, also for group projects, homework. Marta said earlier that we've got access to EMIS from home as well, so it is very important. I want to emphasize this. This is much easier now because it wasn't like that before. So now it's like much easier to implement EMIS on the course level as well. The third level is the semester level, and I like to say that it is some kind of ultimate usage of data of EMIS because here we are working with students using problem-based learning methodology, PBL methodology, and problems are formulated as cross-course problems. So students are working on the same problem, but from different perspectives, which is very important because they can see the same data, but they have to think about those data in different ways, which is very effective in case of learning or teaching. I think last but not least, the seminar level. Although I know it is very important part of teaching, and I am also a thesis supervisor, but I do not want to talk too much about this because I think it is normal for all thesis supervisors that there is a need to work with databases when you are supervisor. And as for us, for Łazarski students and teachers, work with EMIS and SAIC, of course. We are working with those bases on daily basis, so EMIS is the obvious choice for them. When they are used to EMIS, they are used to SAIC, so they find it very attractive, I can say, and very useful also at this stage. So next slide, please. Just an example, just a little case study about class level. During microeconomics class, we are talking about different market types, for example, oligopoly, monopoly, and so on. And as you could see in Marta's presentation, there is a tool in EMIS, very easy to use, so it's good for first year students also, which helps them to calculate concentration ratio. It's HHI, if you know the different type of concentration ratio. And students are learning how to use data. They are learning about types of markets using real data, not only from books. You can work on data compared to different sectors in one country. You can work on data comparing the same sector in different countries. You can use static data, you can use dynamic data, and it's all in one place. And students do not need any sophisticated devices. Students can just use their smartphones, which is, they love it. I can say it is very. Those are very good classes when we are doing this exercise. And next slide, please. On the course level, I think it's the easier way to imagine how we can do it. On the course level, we are implementing EMIS mainly in courses where companies' data have to be used, like accountancy. Big advantage of EMIS here is that you can teach students not only using data from big companies, which usually happened because those companies are obliged by law to publish their financial statements, so it is easy to use. But EMIS has all kind of enterprises covered. And we are private university, and most of our students are children of entrepreneurs, company owners. And when we start to work with EMIS, there are always students who want to check if EMIS has data about their parents' company, and it always has. And when it happened, I'm always waiting for just a moment when a little spark appears in students' eyes, and with the thought, does EMIS has data about their parents' competitors as well? And it does. Next slide, please. So semester level, as I said before, the semester level is an ultimate usage of EMIS, strictly because we are using it as a data source for multi-course projects. As an example, I decided to use project where I am a leader because it is the easier for me, but this is not the only place when we are using EMIS or SAIC that way. There are 4 courses in this project. The main goal for students is to make broad analysis of any company. They can choose the sector, they can choose the company by themselves. For example, CD Projekt is a very popular, as The Witcher and the Cyberpunk are very popular games. So now, believe me, I know everything about CD Projects. I'm an expert in this in this company. On microeconomics, students are doing market analysis, on management, sectoral analysis, on corporate finance, ratio analysis. So we are using different parts of EMIS in one project. In our programs, and I think is the same for all universities, we have some tool courses like mathematics, IT, statistics, soft skill workshop, and so on. And at Łazarski, we are trying to include those courses to our semestral projects, as we have more projects, these multi-course projects. We are implementing here just more learning by doing approach. And in this very project, we have IT course, and students are learning, doing this analysis. They are learning how to properly do PowerPoint presentations, how to import data from database to Excel, how to work with them after they are imported, how to do charts, how to do data visualization, and so on. So it's a base. It's a EMIS is a base for the whole project as a data source, but students are learning a lot of things on this base. And the next slide, please. I try to summarize why EMIS, why we chose EMIS as a base for so many activities in at our university. First of all, I think it is all in one place and very, very universal. You can use it in economic classes, you can use it in management classes, you can use it in principles of economics, you can use it in advanced class, and also you can use it in applied economics. So it is very universal, and you can find it in one place. My second thought was that it makes our teachers work easier. Why? Because you as a teacher have control on data source, so you do not have to waste your time to check if data sources used by students are good quality sources, are good quality data, the methodology of those data. It's easier to score students' work, and it is less time consuming. And when you are using EMIS year by year, you are very familiar with the methodology, so you don't have to learn this new methodology. Of course, it is very important, and EMIS is not the only base we are using during our courses, but it is very especially in the for the first year students when they are not used to many they do not have the a good approach to data. They not think about data this way, that is different methodology. It is very useful tool. And next thing is, Marta already said that with EMIS you've got access to materials which are used, we are used to be behind paywalls, business reports, newspaper articles. So it's just cheaper for us. I can find everything in EMIS what I want, and I do not have to pay for this. What I personally have found very helpful are current issues services. I don't know if this is correct name, but I think I'm what I'm talking about here is some services related to actual problems like COVID, like war in Ukraine. Mm, it is impossible to not talk to students about this when you are a social sciences teacher. It doesn't matter it is economics or it is it's some international relations science. It doesn't matter. You need to have data, current data, and EMIS services help me a lot here, and they are time savers. And I believe the data are good quality, so it is very important for me. And we are getting a big support from the providers. We are organizing workshop for students and teachers, of course, both online and in class. Both teachers and students can always contact with EMIS staff or via email or via chat. So if you have any kind of problems, technical or just you cannot find something, they will help you to solve this problem. And the last thing I want to say about is that we are private university, so we have to earn money. So for us, it is very important that we have to think about our alumni employability. And EMIS and SAIC are the eye catchers in students' CV because they are not obvious and they are not so popular like World Bank database or a Eurostat database. So it is good for students to have in CV something that catch an eye of people in the company where they are going to want to want to work. So this is all from my side. Thank you very much. I hope you have found it as useful practical example of EMIS usage at the university, and I'm open for question, of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anita, for your input. I believe that it has been truly proficient for our listeners to see how does EMIS work at this university. So let me go to the additionals. What you already mentioned is that actually, as you want to be a subscriber of EMIS, would like to be a subscriber of EMIS, we don't leave you hanging. We have a dedicated account manager, which is Marta in that case, who will be right behind you, who will help you with each of your, if any problem occur, if you have any problems with the data, we are there for you, and I believe that's also something worth mentioning. We have unlimited training sessions. If you have any problems, we are here for you, and we can schedule a dedicated training session to you, to your university, to your needs. So therefore, you can use the database in full. We have also the live chat that Anita already mentioned. Live chat, our consultant that works to answer your questions, and we provide you with the information package, the videos, the guides to guide you through the database itself, in order for it to be as pleasant as possible. And what I also wanted to add is that we also provide EMIS Academy sessions open for all university students, workers, and professors that help you and guide you through step by step how to use our platform. And we definitely encourage you to join it. And I believe it can be also helpful. Yeah. And moving on to the Q&A session. So if you didn't get the chance to ask the questions, feel free to do so now. Let me go through the questions right now. Yeah, we have several questions. So let me address it first to you, Marta. How hard is it to implement EMIS at the university? How long does it take, and what is the support? But we already mentioned it. What is the support on the EMIS side? If you could briefly address that, and also a question to you, Anita, from the perspective of university, how do you see it?
If I may start answering on this question. So first of all, we organize the onboarding session. So this is the first meeting with usually with the person from the library. So we organize a lot of trainings for the librarian, for the professors, for the students. It can be like a dedicated session, or it can be like the common session for the whole university. So it depends on the preferences, on the way how the university wants to proceed the onboarding process. And during the whole duration of the subscription, so it's usually 1 year, we are very open and very supportive to run this kind of training. So it's not only like first 3 months as an onboarding process, but during the whole subscription, so the duration of the contract, you can be sure that you will have the dedicated support from our side. But usually the onboarding process lasts like 3 months, 3 first months. And of course, it's very important to encourage students and professors to use EMIS by themselves, because there is a lot of content, a lot of stuff, a lot of information. So we updating ongoing all the information. We add new sources, new functionalities. That's why I encourage from time to time to take part in EMIS training, to be up to date and to see new functionalities and new content added into the service.
Okay, Anita, would you like to add something to it?
Yeah, I think Marta said almost all, but from the university point of view, I think the philosophy of implementing EMIS should be the same as we are implementing it for students. First, trainings for teachers, training for librarians. For our point of view, teachers are the key point here, because if they will believe that it is useful tool, they will use it during the classes and during in the courses. And of course, it depends on your previous experience with databases. I think that always the first semester of using it, the first time when you are implementing something in your course, this is always a pilot year. Then you are thinking about what gone wrong and what gone great, and then the second semester is always just normal using. And I think it's important to show cases to teachers how they can implement EMIS in their courses, very different courses. So I think 2 semesters is enough for implementing it. Then you can improve and improve on the different levels.
Of course. Thank you very much, Marta and Anita, for the answers. We have one more question left, which is, does EMIS focus only on emerging markets? Marta, if you could briefly ask.
Sure. Yes. So we focus on emerging markets, like the name of the tool, like EMIS, Emerging Markets Information Service. So we focus on the emerging markets. when we are talking about the sectors and companies. But when you decide to subscribe the global data, then from the country point of view, you will be able to access to see the data for the developed countries as well. So from the sector and country perspective, emerging markets, from the country point of view, the data for developed countries is available as well. So we concentrate, because the emerging markets data is very hard to get. So we decided to concentrate on emerging markets, because there is a lot of other tools when we are talking about the developed markets, but not so many when we're talking about the emerging markets. So that's why we decided to make your life easier and create the tool when you can see, and when we aggregated the data from emerging markets. But when you would like to see more data about the developed countries, encourage you to subscribe CIC as well. So SEIC, this is our second database. We aggregate data for more than 220 countries, for the emerging markets, for the developed markets. There is a lot of information about the countries, forecasts, sectors, about not only the single country, but also the unions, about the European Union data, OECD, World Bank, and so on. So, so emerging markets, strictly EMIS, news and reports, and CIC, developed countries. So we are going in the future to organize the second webinar for our second database, CIC. So from now, encourage you and invite you for the webinar. So we will be sending the invite soon, and we will demonstrate and present CIC as an aggregator of macro data and statistical data. Very interesting and very useful on the universities as well.
Okay, thank you very much for your questions, for the answers. Let me just sum up the webinar. Thank you very much, Dr. Anita Zarzycka, for your attending, for the kind words, and for introducing us to EMIS and how it's implemented in the university. Marta, thank you very much for your practical training on EMIS. Here are the contact numbers to us. If you want to ask, then feel free to send us an email, and we'll definitely answer. And one last thing, as we mentioned in the invitation, if you want to receive a free access, demo access for your university, just feel free to reach out to me, either via phone or via email, and we will set up the access for your university to see whether it would be helpful for writing your thesis and scientific work. So thank you once again very much for attending the webinar, and I hope to see you once again on our CIC webinar soon.